Hey guys, this is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey, today we're going to talk about my favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a great subject for ourselves today, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. So what do we got? A little fist bump, say howdy. Here we go. Selling and management, how does it work? Question mark. What did he say? I said selling and management, how does it work? You know, a lot of times when you're getting into sales, you're just thinking about the basics, what you're just getting into. You're not thinking about what's the future going to hold for you. A lot of times, even in my own personal sales career, when I first got into selling, I only thought about the small picture. I didn't look at the whole holistic, the big picture of what my life can end up being as far as a salesperson is concerned, or a customer service, or a person in general. Selling and management, how does it work? A lot of times they kind of work hand in hand. If you've been in sales, you have to what they call manage yourself. Manage yourself. What does that mean, manage yourself? Well, you've got to remember you work on commission. Generally, you work on straight commission. So what you have to do is you have to learn how to manage your time, your money, your attitude, your responsibilities, your day, your scheduling, your appointments, blah, de blah, de blah, a whole lot of stuff. And see, selling and management, it goes hand in hand, and how it works basically is you've got to figure out, well, first off, if I'm a brand new salesman, I got to get a product, I got to figure out what I'm going to sell, and I got to listen to management to learn how to sell this particular product. Also, if you're a person who's been in sales for a long time and you leave one particular company, you go to another company, you're going to deal with a whole lot more different types of management and a whole lot of different other people who've been there, done that, and they've wanted to show you how to be successful in your selling career, especially when you're trying to sell a new product or their new product. Management is very important. It's vital in our everyday selling career. See, a lot of things they look at management and say, those people suck, they're mean, they're not real nice, blah, they don't care about us salespeople, but really they do. A real good salesperson will look at a manager as an ally, an asset, somebody that they can use to become a more proficient and a better salesperson. They're kind of like a mentor in a way, and they can open doors for you to be able to get to the next level. But see, you have to be one of these kind of people who's interested in wanting to get to the next level. Management doesn't like to necessarily work with people who are mediocre. Now, they'll help mediocre people because, sometimes it's really hard to get a real salesperson or somebody who wants to be successful. So, they'll deal with all kinds of things because that's what they do, because they're managers. And by being a manager, what you're doing is you're trying to work with all different types of personalities, especially in selling. There's some prima donnas out there. I ain't saying there ain't never been one, and they ain't a compliment. And they also got people that are slackers. You got overachievers, underachievers. You've got people that need to be molded. You got brand new salespeople that need to learn the basics, the fundamentals. And you got a lot of older salespeople been around. I don't want to learn nothing new. Well, that's bull on it. And if you're a good manager and you got salt and you're worth your salt, now that's an old Romans term. That's how they used to payday people when they was working out there. Because the way your salt, oh my gosh, you got to have it. Now, selling and management, how does it work? A lot of times, when you first get into sales, you're going to meet some people that are going to be called your managers. And these managers are going to be able to dictate to you the basic instructions on how to sell their particular product. Now, you need to go ahead and get a piece of paper and a pen. You want to go ahead and start writing things down, especially once you get in front of managers. You want to ask them a lot of pertinent questions because, see, they're more interested in people who want to learn, who want to earn. They're not interested in people who think they know it all. And I've been one of them kind of people that sometimes I think I know a little bit more than the managers, but you know what? I've learned that I can learn from those managers because, see, they're in a position for a reason, to manage, to make sure that products get sold, sure that people get managed so that they'll get and be the best that they can be when they're out there trying to sell or doing customer service. Management and selling go hand in hand. And see, a lot of times like I said, we're managing our own personal business. You may say, I work for somebody. No, you don't. You work for you. And I work for little old me. And selling and management is so vitally important. It gives you the capability to have somebody in your corner that'll build you up. Now, if you're a manager and you're you're hurting your people and you're putting them down and saying mean things and treating them like crap, you ain't a manager. What you are is you're a manipulator, and eventually you'll get found out and you'll be gone. Because see, in reality, management and business owners and salespeople, we need people that are going to build us up, help us to be successful, give us a foundation. Because if you have a good foundation when you first get into sales, or if you're going to a new company and you're selling a new product somewhere else, by having a good foundation, you can build upon that. Now, a lot of people, they right off the bat, boom, they start selling, they doing real good. And then you got some people, it takes a little bit of time. So good management knows that. So what they do is they treat everybody as an individual. You know, I've been to what they call cattle calls, when you go to get a job and everybody shows up, you're like, dang, I ain't that important. See, here's the thing. But in management, if you're a true good sales manager or a good manager or a good owner of a business, the way you work with your salespeople is vitally important. You know, you want to treat those people as though, hey, you know, they're your own family. To thine own self be true. The golden rule is treat others as you want other people to treat you. So if you're a manager, because I've been a manager and sometimes I forgot my place and I didn't treat people with the respect that they deserved. And you know what? It came back to bite me, because see, I had to look at myself. Because remember, when you're pointing fingers, you got three of them pointing back at you. You got to look at your own personal life and say, hey, am I managing myself right? Am I helping people the correct way? And if you know that you need to work on it, that's good management. You're trying to figure out how, as a manager, you can be successful. But if you're a salesperson, the way you look at your management is like this. They know stuff right now that you don't know. They talk to people that we don't talk to. They talk to upper management. They talk to owners. And they see a bigger picture. Now, a lot of times as salespeople, we only see our little area and what we do. But a good manager is going to let the salesperson say, hey, look, you got your little job, but let me tell you what I do. And see, when you do that, what happens is you put it on the salesperson and they look at it going, dang, you got a real tough job. My goodness. I'm glad you told me that. Because see, a lot of times management don't tell their salespeople what's involved in their jobs. They don't give them no information, and they only tell them the basics about what they need to know. But see, in reality, if you want to be a good manager, if you want to get the respect from your salespeople, go ahead, tell them what you do. Tell them how hard it is. Tell them about the things you got to go through and how you're going to be their advocate. Management can be really good to you guys. I've had some great managers in my past that treated me like gold. But see, the reason why is because I treated them like gold. I listened to what they had to say. I laughed with them. I cried with them. I helped them. I wanted them to be successful, because see, if your manager's being successful, and they will bring you along with them. Wouldn't you like to get to the next level? Some people want to go into management. Some people want to start their own business. See, but by having a good manager on your side, they can help you to get to the next level. First off, a manager, first of all, they got paperwork that they got to deal with on a daily basis. You may go, paperwork? What's that? That's stuff that you got to fill out. You got to make sure you dot all your I's and you cross all your T's and all that kind of stuff. They're inputting numbers in their computers all the time. They're looking at their salespeople and looking at their performances, so that way their upper management, because remember, crap rolls downhill and it sucks. So in this regard, they're looking at their numbers. They're trying to make sure that you're the best at what you can do and be as a salesperson. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. I told you I'd tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the things that nobody talks about, warts and all, when it comes to selling. And our subject for today is selling and management. How does it work? You know, this is the key, guys. If you have a manager and if they're forthright and they let you know what they do, you're going to be more empathetic towards them. And you're going to say, okay, well, I see. Now, this is what I have to do. And if you're a good manager, you're going to let your salespeople know what's expected of them. And make them write the stuff down so that way they can go back and look at it. A lot of times we forget stuff because we're all in our little world. We thinking about all our own stuff. And see, we forget about if the business fails, we all fail. And good management is going to bring that to our attention. And we're going to have what they call a scoreboard. You got to have a scoreboard about where you started and where you expanded on finishing. It ain't where you started, it's where you finish in life that makes all the difference in your selling career. And I told you, I tell you some weird stuff. And selling and dealing with management is really, really a great idea, because you want people they're not your enemies. Management is not your enemies. Now, they may come across sometimes as being a real jerk. You know, some people are like that. They get this little thing about them, like, I'm better than you kind of attitude. But you got really good managers that don't talk to you like they're your friend, but they treat you with the respect that you deserve. Respect given, respect getting. You're going to get some respect if you give it, guys. So if you're talking with your manager, especially when you're brand new and everything, reach out to them, because, see, they can get you in touch with the top salespeople. They can put you around people that are of a like mind, people who want to be successful, and they'll make sure that you don't hang out with the wieners. Okay, you start hanging around with the losers, or I shouldn't call anybody a loser, but mediocre people, then you end up being mediocre. So your best thing is to try to be around management as much as possible. Ask for their input about a lot of different things. Ask them how I can become successful. What do I need to work on? And if you have a good salesman, they're not afraid that you're going to take their job. There are some management, they don't want to tell you nothing because they're afraid somebody going to steal that little job. Hey, I've been in management before. I want people to want to get my job. I want people to be better than me. And if you're a true manager, that's what you want, is your people to surpass you, to be better. That's the truth. You know, selling and management, how does it work? You know, every day you're going to have a phone call, or you're going to have somebody that's going to be talking to you about what are you doing today in your selling career. If you work in retail, you're going to have that morning meeting. They're going to tell you what's expected of you. If you work in the field, you're going to have those meetings that you have 2 or 3 days a week. Some meetings I have 5, 6, 7 days a week. And then what's going to happen is they're going to have expectations. We're going to have a little rah-rah. Everybody can do it. We're going to talk about the sales. They're going to talk about who was performing, who wasn't performing, what do we need to do, have some basic presentations, so that way you can kind of have this capability to work from other people's perspective in selling. Because, see, if you only listen to one perspective, you can't really get a good idea how to sell something. And a lot of true management, they want you to hear different ideas and stuff and take little nuggets of information, so that way you can be proficient in your selling career. You know, selling and management, like I said, they go hand in hand. Your management, believe it or not, they want you to succeed. They have a vested interest in you. They want you to be number one, or at least in the top 10%, because, see, if you're doing real good, they get a little bit of Benny. They get a little bit of extra money. But if everybody's failing, they're going to be replaced. And nobody likes to be replaced. But sometimes it happens because of bad management. Some people don't know how to be managers. But if you're in sales, you're your own manager, guys. I'm telling you, you got to manage your time. You've got to manage your money. You got to figure out, who do I talk to on a daily basis? You got to manage your leads. It's a lot of work. You got to manage that telephone. Pick that thing up and call when it's real heavy, when you don't want to do it. Managing, going out there, knocking on them doors. Managing, you know, talking to those business to business. Managing, go and see people, because, see, the more people, it's like a numbers game, we're able to talk to, the more sales we're going to make. It's real important. It makes a lot of sense. So what we have to do is we have to work with our management. And I've worked with some really great management. I could do a lot of videos about this. I just wanted to touch bases with you to let you know, if you're a manager, thank you. You're doing a great job. We need for you to keep doing a great job. And remember, we need good management, because, see, without you, we have no kind of direction. So I look forward to talking to managers all the time. I love my managers. I try to treat them really kindly, because, see, what goes around comes around. You treat people with respect, you get a little bit back in respect in your own ways. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. We're just having a great conversation about selling and management and how does it work. The key to success when it comes to management is you got to follow those people that are successful. You got to look to mentors to teach you and give you the basics and the fundamentals. If you do that, you'll be very successful as being a manager. You've got to get your paperwork done all the time. You got to make sure you do everything to help your salespeople. You got to help, as a salesperson, to help your managers become successful, because successful people breed successful people. Birds of a feather flock together. So I hope you got a little bit out of this video. I know it's a little crazy, but selling and management, how does it work? It works if you work it, but you got to live it. So everybody's managing something, their own families, and you may not think you're even a manager. You will be. And one day. So go out there and manage something. And my name is Gary Lee Stanley. We just had a great conversation about selling and management and how does it work. And do me a favor, if you're out there selling, if you ain't asking for the order, you ain't selling. We just had a great conversation. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. Go out there, the sales guy, give me a little fist bump and tell you, you can do anything you put your mind to. Selling and management, it does work. But you got to work it. So let's go out there and sell something. And don't forget, if you're management, we appreciate you. You're awesome. Even if you don't know it, we do. And salespeople, we love you, baby. We really do. So go out there and sell something. All right.